So let me start with questions around domestication. Some very interesting studies have shown that there's certainly a variety of species that, if an effort is made, can be domesticated extraordinarily quickly. There is an experiment done starting in the 50s in Russia, where they tried to see if, I believe it was silver foxes or minks, they simply selected those species that were in, those individuals that were in cages that weren't either very aggressive or very fearful of human beings. And they bred them, and within about 3 generations, they showed serious signs of domestication. Their bodies changed, their legs got shorter, their tails differed, their morphology changed, and their behavior changed. And in about 8 generations, these silver foxes were entirely domesticated. They actually barked, they wagged their tails, they would follow humans around. You can watch videos of like 75-year-old ladies with one of these foxes sitting in their lap like a cat. And so, in fact, there are clearly species other than those that we think of or that have become relatively domesticated, like dogs or cats, that also could become domesticated. Whether they should be domesticated is another question. Whether it's actually beneficial to that species at all to be domesticated is another question. So in evolution, I think you see, and it's not even just between humans and other species, you see all kinds of examples of symbiosis between different species. You know, certain birds that clean the backs of boars, or other birds that clean the teeth of crocodiles. And clearly there's a symbiotic relationship between them that benefits both species. Now, is there a species that its flourishing is increased by being instrumentalized for animal experimentation? I can't think of why or how it would benefit a species. What I would say is that the kind of captivity and the kind of manipulation necessary for use in animal experimentation, it's less problematic the more that captivity detracts from its flourishing. So clearly, the use of chimpanzees, I think, is particularly awful because of the multitude of ways in which their flourishing is almost entirely eliminated in such situations. I think you could say the same about other more complex species, the use of dogs in experimentation, or a variety of other more intelligent creatures. I take it there's some species which arguably their range of flourishing is more limited, and therefore the way it is limited by using them in experimentations would be less morally problematic. But I still would say that that pure instrumentalization, I think, of such species is not treating them in a way that allows them to flourish as God created them to flourish.